Me pacho me technical school na me automobile engineer. Na you laying out no, double laying out. Nti ebia na yakwa at the school near phone one year above for now when you tell back because double laying I actually na me dem nya you do workshop na ma start chale na double laying out when you be so. Nti no na I'm school for start double na the babu nti be double.
I knew how to do double layout, and then I was named after that.
No, he said he was fascinated.
Yes,
When he went to school, for one, he
Yes,
was fascinated by the technical term, double lane. Which technical school?
Ebitivi Technical Institute.
Oh, okay. So, before I start, you said on the Friday before Honorable St. George came here, you met at the airport.
Was a Friday night, Sana Honorable St. George Ebahano, Uhunwa Airport.
Pacho Kasaro phones.
We spoke on the phone.
About what?
Mokade.
Na ya che the car. Nti amamo friend na menene kasa na mso amunjano.
His car was clamped, so he called me, and I told him to leave him.
No, the first time,
Was that the first time you spoke to him, or you've met him before?
Na medika boa no VIP ho na ansana.
I had already helped him at the VIP lounge before I got to help him.
So you are at the airport and you are helping MPs to break the law?
Two airports on our MP say break the law. No, please.
So when you were watching TV, were you surprised to hear him say that he knows you only from video shots of MPP campaign rallies where you were acting as a member of the Invincible Force?
Into mama say now see you say we MPP and kind Invincible Forces for no one. Yes, please.
Because
he did not know me prior to the event, before I introduced myself to him.
Also, at the VIP, that was the first time you introduced yourself to him?
Into VIP, when I introduced you to Honorable St. George for the first time. I introduced myself to him as Double. What's your other name?
Brightness Akomia.
Do you have Nana in your name? Brightness Akomia. Does he know that you are Brightness Akomia? He only knows you are Double. Okay. The first time that you said some water was being thrown from some house.
First time now, I say if we feel more, no.
And then stones were being thrown from another area.
No stones, so no more to free, baby for.
And then gunshots from another area.
And a gunshot also to free another area.
Am I right in saying that these were three different spots? The water was coming from somewhere, the stones from somewhere, and then the gunshot from somewhere else.
Until then, free baby potty bako, free baby.
A born it turned in every one direction, but in soon on every field.
The stones were coming, and the stones and the gunshots was coming from one direction, but then the water was coming from the house.
Which house?
But be Honorable St. George as a candidate in the field.
Where Honorable St. George told us that it was the candidate's house.
Okay. You went there and went through the lane. This is the, let's see if you're coming from the lane from the school. This is the candidate's house.
Black gate.
Then there is, opposite there is another house with a wine gate or something.
Wine gate, right.
Where were you standing?
Na ya niche baby among was a JBC alcohol be as well as school. Na Honorable St. George.
They were facing a mango tree before you get to the school, before you climb to the school.
Were you, going towards the school or you were coming from the school?
Namu niche school nenimu anase namu free school nim neighbor.
Na ya niche school nim neighbor because yeah, but you remember the young foul, you far.
Main road.
Main road, na ya foul.
We were facing the school, but when we were coming, we came from the main road.
So at the time that you were moving on Sam George, where did you hear the sound?
Time and now we on about Sam George, Sam George, Econo. He now it's only free. I heard it behind us in the crowd.
That's towards where the vehicles were parked.
But they're not vehicles. Yes, please.
Okay, you borrowed the driver's weapon.
What's the driver need to need? What's the driver? Yes, please.
But you didn't fire.
But also want to.
That day you didn't fire any shots.
No, please, I did not fire.
Do you know whether the driver fired any shots?
When you said driver no or to Tony Biana, he was not present at the scene.
So when did you return the weapon to him?
The time when I did to the man. When we got to the car, I gave it to him.
About what time?
Time being.
But park this one by the time them into the but after the incident, I
After the incident, I gave it to him at the park.
And so you drove off? In the driver's car?
I was driving the car.
No driver. Driver.
Yes, please. He was the one driving our car.
So at least you are sure that the driver never fired?
Until we are sure the driver now fire.
And you never fired?
No, please.
And therefore, you are sure that if the ballistic people do an examination, they will find that that weapon has not been fired?
Ballistic people need investigation now.
What is the key for ballistic people? Jennifer, your friends from the press who are laughing, they don't know that this is your first time. You trained to be a lawyer, not to be an interpreter.
It's all for number to train same name. No, who say you should to now. Who say Antoine? I say to it.
The patron say I'm too no daddy.
I show you I'm too no daddy.
Okay. So, what time you left the scene?
When time I move free scene honor.
But 9 to 10 honey.
Around 9. Between 9 and 10.
At the time you were living, where was Honorable Sam George?
Time I now call Honorable Sam George Ewing. I did not see where he was.
What time did you part with him?
Time when I'm tempted to say.
And then tempted to say, time or Obisa me key now, because me who me name key and out to me who are. Maybe and the man, one I'm tempted to my own view.
I did not see him after when I told him when I told him the key would be found, and I dispersed with him.
When we were showing the footage, there was a place which appeared to be the lane. I'd rather show it for us. Lots of people, both security and the public, they appear to be in. When it goes, I'll show you. Yes, this please. Were you there?
Now, yes, please, I was here.
Where is that? Where is that?
I hear him.
Parliamentary candidate in the field.
This was the residence of the parliamentary candidate.
That red vehicle, is it one of yours or one of the vehicles which you saw some people?
Red car na ye Mudiana say a Gofobidia.
We cry and cancas now.
This vehicle was not,
by witness you, but never will be anting.
this vehicle was parked. It was not part of the cars that we wanted to see.
Okay, go forward a little. Listen, Patrick, come on. There appeared to be a first shot, then followed by 2 or 3 more.
I say first shot etoy sana be miensa na mienu ensoto.
Were you there at that time?
That time now.
Saturn Namitika ni mo main road in him.
I was in a vehicle on the main road.
So you didn't see what happened?
Me Patrick the me who know TV say yeah.
No,
Okay.
please, I saw it on video as well.
Okay. You see that your people are running, the civilians who are running.
Who say
Patrick,
Did you ask them why they were running?
After I'm didn't go for a match from a buyer, and yes, we say.
After they arrested the people
And brought them to where?
I'm done by the go car anymore.
when they brought them to the car.
And Sana ASP.
DSP.
The DSP, sorry.
That's when DSP
the whole normal car
asked
story.
them about the incident.
You asked them why they were running.
Obisa, I didn't see your horse and I took it to her.
He asked them about the incident, the reason why.
Did
they
he
were
ask them
running.
why they were running? Because everybody, I mean, both civilians and people in uniform.
But Obisa,
Yes,
No,
please.
almost a day.
we say no some moment I went in a moment to watch it on by
He said that people started to break the ballot boxes and
some boo a na box na to a deal one of the sana a year.
No, let's watch it again. Did you just ask them what happened?
Me Patrick, sana much.
That what?
that's what
Almost some of who is in the moment to see it nice change or mono. A quache by.
Did you ask them about the guy who was beaten?
was Busamo.
The one that they were kicking?
Yeah, Bonono. Or was Busama about Ghana.
And no come on much I'm doing by no.
He was part of those who were arrested, who were brought to the car.
So when you went to when you were standing by yesterday, somebody said you were standing close to the street, and that when the period that a lot of shots were being fired, you were not around. Is that true?
And Obika said, time and not
Yeah, we can't hear you.
and now Obika said, time and not it on air to now, Jina, a quine move, baby.
When the security forces, the man said, the security forces in that lane, they were firing at the crowd, but EW was not there. He was not part of the firing.
I say security forces for no not more tutu, but who they now won't come home. Now
Niho.
Sorry, now Niho.
Malon, but all parking the son as
Lane.
the patch of the number.
I was there.
Because now many arms and the do pianos or one or.
I was there and I was behind. I was under a tree with Honorable Sam George.
What's the tree's name, you know? Which one? The one near the mango tree in front of the other factory?
They are all for up an hour before walking to a school in the park.
The mango tree before the wall.
And where were the civilians? I mean, the crowd, where were they?
Go for the normal way, crowd in the normal way.
I'm the no almost started free parliamentary candidate in gate na and this Ahmed Honor.
They were around the parliamentary
And who was doing the shooting?
But I mean to mention, but no crowd on him.
I will not be able to tell, but it was coming from the crowd.
So this is the crowd.
Yeah.
And you are here with Mr. Sam George. Isn't it?
Now, Mr. Sam George, Miss Baby Fufu, and a crowd, and so Baby Fufu.
And according to you, you heard some shots from the crowd.
Now, so what? It's a free crowd.
And everybody was running.
And now,
Did you and Mr. Sam George also run?
Also, Mr. Honorable Sam George,
Honorable Sam George, the car made because not operatives need to be and the police people now on mobile chain so
so
now we are covered with the chin.
So we were covered in the middle by the police operatives. One.
Okay, so this is the crowd, the civilians. Then you and Mr. Sam George and a few others were in the middle. The police, you mean the regular police, were somewhere here. And so if anybody wanted to fire at the crowd, they will hit you first, you and Mr. Sam George first.
So be person or two,
If you want to speak English, why are you worried?
So be person to be a more amusement meadow, never come one son, I can't be a.
Ever try, my lord?
Yes, please.
Oh, Thomas, sorry. Did you notice the period that Mr. Sam George said a lot of shots were being fired at him?
Time of crowd, Honorable Sam George say, now it's too near to a trainer. So.
If I told my own, as I see how the another can come in, and you don't have fire because you know the joint Nanka. I mean, him say, see one day no can there.
I would not be able to tell because if it was true, I would be we would be the ones being fired at the scene.
Okay, then you are in the middle. You claim some civilians were firing, then the police were firing. The two groups, were they firing at each other or firing in the air?
You say not go for 8 to 2, police and so 8 to 2. No more fire will be man now say no more fire.
If I told my own direction, because now, you were warned, both sides in the patrol my own direction and a vehicle.
Yeah, but I'm saying that if they were firing at each other, it would have hit you and Mr. Sam George.
Then come to now, Bomoa. Kebebo only Honorable Sam George first.
A bit nice, but now you've been police for the more and operative voyage. And this will be a bit nicer.
That could have been the case.
20 and a bit nicer.
Whether it is from your back or your front, this is the civilian group. Please translate for him.
Okay. Civilian group nini say if we were chill, say when you move. Civilian group ne ewo baby for.
And the forces, the police and the other forces, your people, are on this side.
And the police one also walk the other side.
It's a small lane.
A lane it's way.
So if either of those groups, the civilians or the police, were firing, aiming at anybody, if they were aiming at themselves, it could have hit you.
Think almost me no to a bit more first. Yes, please.
So therefore, from your small experience, both groups were firing warning shots or something.
The groups mean no more fire warning shots. So I will not be able to tell.
All you know is that if they were aiming at anybody, you and Mr. Sam George would have been hit.
Since I'm to actual baby and Kamuni Honorable Sam George, yes, please.
You said you were wounded, or Mr. George was wounded.
Okay, I say, Upray, and I say, Honorable Sam George, they cry.
Mr. A bone me.
Where?
I said,
shoulder.
I was hit by
but I never
on my shoulder.
But Honorable Sam George was not wounded. You were shielding him.
But I too, now one guy so come.
So the two of you were prepared to die for him.
Because of your MP, now we are trying to protect him.
We're
Not
trying-
only are you helping him at the airport, but you're also going to die for him. So he must be very grateful to you.
Exactly. In fact,
Benjamin has to say, Bibiano, and the Bibiano, why? Thank you very much.
That's
Mr. Dobo, yes, it was it. And now, Madam Interpreter, so why I did, even though what they brought for Fancy, I would have broken. Thank you very much. You may leave now. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you, my Lord.
Doubly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our sitting for the day. We'll resume sitting on Thursday at 10 a.m.